y'all. So I guess y'all can say this is part 7 on how my mom was unalived from witchcraft. Now, before I get into that, the more depth reason or the root of the problem. So a lot of y'all have been reaching out to me, telling me y'all stories and y'all experiences and how you want me to share it on my platform. And trust me, I'm going to tell your story. I got you. I'm just amazed at how many people has went through the similar or same situation experiences that I have, but it's not publicly talked about a lot. So the fact that you guys are sharing your most vulnerable story with me about your loved one, I really, really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to tell your story. I'm glad that my story has opened ways for other people to come out and tell theirs because it's a lot to hold in. Like, she passed away when I was 16 and I'm 29 now, and it still hurts me, you know? So the pain never goes away. We just learn how to cope with it. You know what I'm saying? So again, thank y'all so much, and I will get each of you guys' story out day by day. Okay, so this story time would be more about me piecing in some of the parts that I intentionally left out because I wasn't sure if I wanted to share the information or not. But I have been getting a lot of questions. And this is my mom's story. This is my platform. So I'm going to tell it how it is. Honestly, this is me speaking for her because she can't. You know what I'm saying? So in the part where I told y'all that I got pregnant on her birthday. So when I had my son, he was probably like 3 at this time because I lived in an apartment complex. He was like, yeah, he was 3. So one day he's running around the house and he's like, ghosts, ghosts, ghosts. And I'm like, huh? And he's pointing to my door. Like, when you walk into my apartment, it was the living room and I had like a side door that goes to the balcony. That's the door that he was pointing at. And he was like, ghost, ghost. Okay. But again, like, these things don't weird me out or nothing because I've been seeing stuff, my whole life. So, one thing in particular that stood out, remember when I told you my mom was in ICU and she unalived the first time? And I told you that 2 aunts was in the room. One of the aunts' husband was in the room as well, and he brought my mom a bear. I have this bear to this day. I have this bear. It's in my other room in my house, and I got it sitting beside her picture when she went to the Bahamas. So at the time in my apartment, I had the bear in my room. I had it in my room on this nightstand. It's a pink bear. You know I love pink. So I'm in the bathroom doing my hair and makeup and stuff, and the bear sings. So if you push a little button on his hand, it sings. So my son come in the room and he pushes the button. So I hear the bear singing. He's like, "Grandma, grandma, grandma." And mind you, he's 3 and he's never met her physically. But hold on, let me rewind this back. When he was 1, I had lived in a trailer at the time. It was just me and my baby. When he was 1, y'all, he was in his crib, and I heard him in there talking. He was in there talking, and I kind of already knew who he was talking to, because of the presence. But spiritually, I definitely believe my son has met my mom. Shit, my son might be a reincarnation of my mom, honestly. So boom, taking it back to, he's playing the bear. So I'm like, son, I'm not gonna say my son's name, but I'm like, son, you know that's Grandma Bear? And he's like, yeah, grandma, grandma, grandma. Okay, so same apartment. I have like a Bible book. It's not a Bible per se, but it has like Bible scriptures on it. It's kind of like a diary Bible. I don't know how to. It's a pink book and it has scriptures on it, but you can write in it as well. I glued my mama a picture to the front of it. And I had it sitting on my TV stand underneath my TV. I like, you know how you like get like a birthday card and you just like, or any type of greeting card and you just place it on like your nightstand or table or whatever. That's how I had it on my TV stand, my book. And my son would go up to it. And he was between 3 and 4 in this apartment. He will go up to it and he will always say, "Grandma, grandma, grandma." And you know what, y'all? I wonder if he remembered even doing that. He's 11 now. I've never really had a conversation with him about it. So my son is on TikTok. So I'm going to include the text messages on when I texted my son, because I was on my TikTok and I noticed he was liking the story time videos. Mind you, I've never talked to my son about his grandmother passing. He has asked plenty of times, and like I said in my previous video, I always tell him it was just her time and he's not old enough yet. So now I know he's on my TikTok. Now I know he's watching what I'm saying. So I text him, and I don't remember the top of my head, so I'm just going to include it in this video and what we talked about. This is the first time we have talked about it since he's been older. Well, since he's older now, so y'all can see, how the conversation went. And my son is very smart, y'all. He's such a little respectable little man. I love him to the core. He's a great freaking kid, y'all. He really is. So a lot of people have been like asking, why did she do this? Why did, that particular aunt do this to my mom? If they were so cool, if they were so close, why did she envy her so much? Was it jealous? It's just a lot of speculation going on. And I know I said in the video that it was because of a weight issue, which I do believe that's one of the factors. However, that was not the root of the issue. It wasn't. It goes way back deeper than that. But the reason why I'm coming out about this, the real reason, is because it's some stuff had happened these last couple days, you know what I'm saying, and I never saw this coming, honestly. So back before I was even born, right, Aunt Wanda met this guy. She met this guy, her and this guy having a little fling. I don't believe it was ever like a relationship. They just had like a little situationship, or, friends with benefits type thing going on. Okay, boom. Sometime later, my mom meets a guy. Okay, she meets a guy. She's liking him. It ended up turning into love. Now they're loving each other. Now they're hanging out with each other every single day. Now they're dating. Then it becomes a full-blown relationship. Okay, so my mom and this guy is madly in love. They're spending time with each other each and every day. They actually used to live very, very, very close to each other, actually within the same neighborhood. So boom, Aunt Wanda tells my mom, hey, the guy that you're with, I used to sleep with him. Didn't tell my mom before. Aunt Wanda knew my mom was talking to this guy, knew she met this guy, knew all of this. Did not tell my mom that she used to mess with the guy before her, until her and the guy got together. Y'all don't judge my mom, okay? Because I don't need to hear those comments, okay? Did my mom break up with the guy? No, she did not. Because at this point, they're already in a committed relationship. And then when, Aunt Wanda is telling her this, my mom is probably thinking it wasn't nothing too serious, because it's not like, well, it ain't like Aunt Wanda showed she was mad or angry or upset at the time. And I am running out of time, y'all. Damn, this always happens. Like, I get the rumble in my mouth. I will come back for part 8. I'm actually going to record part 8 right now. Like, I'm just going to do it right now because I have to get this out to y'all. Hey y'all, so I'm back with part 8 on how my mom got unalive from Witchcraft. Like I told you, I'm coming right back with this. So I left off at Aunt Wanda telling my mom that she used to smash the guy that she's dating now. Okay, so my mom and the guy is still dating. Aunt Wanda is still communicating with my mom regularly. So my mom didn't think she felt no type of way about it, because she's presenting it as if he was just like a fling. It wasn't nothing, but hey, let me tell you, I smashed him anyway. Okay, so fast forward, the guy and my mom is still dating. So my mom ended up getting pregnant with her 3rd child at this point. So, she's excited, she's happy, because she was actually on birth control when she got pregnant. So she wasn't supposed to get pregnant. So my mom went and told Aunt Wanda that she was pregnant. I had a particular family member that was there when my mom told Aunt Wanda she was pregnant, and that's how the information got back to me. So my mom told Aunt Wanda she's pregnant, and the way Aunt Wanda just looked, she looked disgusted. She looked angry. Like she was really upset that my mom got pregnant by a guy that was a fling to her that she act like she cared nothing about, right? So my mom's pregnant and her boyfriend is just, making sure she's good, taking care of her up until the her third child was born. Guess who the third child is? So y'all smart. So I'm pretty sure y'all put two and two together, right? Okay, so I'm born. So my dad used to come over and take care of me and help my mom with me and everything. Whole time Aunt Wanda is envious. This is where the root of it started. So for y'all the ones that's asking why did it start, this is how it started. Aunt Wanda wanted a baby by my daddy. She didn't get pregnant. My mom was on birth control and got pregnant with me. And here I am. Now, from what I was told, is that I came from a very, very spiritual family. Like my dad's side of the family is very spiritual. Could be the reason why I was born with my gifts. I'm not sure how I was born with my gifts, but I do have the ability to see things, to hear things. I have visions, premonitions. I could read energy. Just however, whatever you want to call it, right? I have all of those things. Okay, so I'm here. I'm in the world. My mom and my dad is taking care of me, as a baby and stuff like that. All of a sudden, my dad can't be around my mom. My dad can't be around me. Now, what do y'all think happens to where now all of a sudden the man that's madly in love with my mom can't be around her no more? Can't take care of me no more. Oh, okay. So I do have like vague memories of my dad. I do remember times where my mom would meet up with him, and it was kind of weird because it was kind of like he's sneaking to meet her. Literally, like we wouldn't go to his house. She would meet him at the top of the road and he would walk down to her car and like talk to her. I don't remember the conversations, but he would talk to her and he would give her money. And he would talk to me because I was in the back seat. Or like when I was in fifth grade, we used to talk on the phone. We used to talk on the phone. We used to have conversations, and he will always tell me he's going to see me, he's going to get me things, and it just never happened, honestly. And I've always wanted that relationship with him. It just could not happen. My bad, y'all. This is hard. So my daddy has a lot of kids. And one of my family members on my mom's side was really close to someone on my daddy's side. So she was the one that kind of brought the pieces together, right? So one day I'm at her house and she's like, Lex, do you wanna meet your family? Like your dad's side of the family? And actually I was 13. And I was like, yeah, I want to meet them. They actually live down the street. So, she arranged it, and I went to my grandmother's house on my daddy's side. This was the first time me meeting any of them. Okay, so let me wind this back some because I forgot about this part before I get into that part. When I was about 6 or 7, we had lived with my grandmother at the time. Now, I was really close with my neighbors' kids. We used to always play hide and seek, ring somebody's doorbell and go run, all that type of stuff, okay? So I'm playing with the little girl one day, and she tells me that her daddy is my daddy. So I'm like, what? So I go ask my mom, this little girl is saying that my dad is her dad. Mind you, we're neighbors, like literally next door neighbors. She's saying my dad is her dad and that she's my sister. And my mom did confirm it. Up until this point, I did not know who my daddy was because, again, when he was taking care of me, I was a baby. I don't have those memories. That's when I found out I lived beside my dad. Do we have a relationship immediately after? I don't recall that. Okay, so back to my cousin setting up, me meeting my daddy's side of the family. So I go to my grandmother's house. I meet my granny, my grandpa, my uncles, my aunts, all of them. Great family. That was actually my first and last time ever going over there. Some of my sisters came, some of my brothers came. It was like a big family reunion, very overwhelming, but it was like a big family reunion. So I was told once I left, because I did end up building a relationship with one of my twin brothers. So he was like telling me everything because he was still there when I left. When I left, he did call and tell me that my daddy came after I had left. So I don't know if he just came over there just to come, or maybe he got wind of me being there and he wanted to see me. I don't know what was going through his mind at the time. So fast forward, I'm 15. Now I remember I'm 15 because it's my birthday, and I was with the twin brother. So we end up going to my daddy house because a lot of my siblings lived with him. So I wanted to, hang out with them. I walk into the house, and to the right was his couch. When you walk in the house, it was the living room. So I go in the living room and I sit down on the couch. I see my dad. He comes out and he just walked past me. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't acknowledge me. And, imagine being 15, seeing your dad just walk past you, don't acknowledge you, don't say nothing, don't give you a happy birthday, nothing. So, my bad, y'all. So, my brothers did take me outside and they talked to me and comforted me and was like, sis, don't worry about it. We got you. And I ended up leaving. And that was the last time I ever really try to like communicate with him again. At that point, he did live in a neighborhood that I went into frequently because I had other family members that lived there. So I would see him all the time. I would see him outside of his yard. I would never stop and say anything. Even when I became an adult and I began driving and stuff like that, I would still see him. And I had so much like hate towards him. I really did. Okay, so boom, we at my mom's funeral, because I didn't mention this part either, but we're at my mom's funeral. So my daddy's wife came to the funeral, and I am running out of time. I'll be back for another part. I'm going to record it right now again, since I'm already talking about it. I'm about to record it right now, y'all. Okay, y'all, this is part 9 on how my mom got unalive from witchcraft, kind of just filling in the gray areas. So we're at my mom's funeral. My daddy's wife comes to the funeral, and some of my brothers and sisters on my dad's side of the family came to the funeral. So I grew even more hatred towards him because I'm like, how in the world did your wife come support the grieving family of your ex and you don't even show up? That's how I felt. I did not like this man. I even went as far as say, like, if he unalived, I wouldn't go to his funeral. Because why would you not come to my mom's? Okay, so boom, my story has went viral, on here. My family has seen it. It's whatever. So a particular person I'm close to, we're having a conversation about it, and like I said, she's like my second mom. She know everything about me. She was one of the ones that my mom was really, really close to. So we're just taking it back and back to when I was younger and all of those days and stuff like that. And I broke down to her because my dad was brought up. And, I just explained to her, like, I hate this man because how do your wife come and you don't come? And she said, Lex, he did come to you. Whew, okay. She said, Lex, like, he did come to your mom's funeral. He did. She said, he was coming up and he saw Aunt Wanda. And that's why he decided to sit outside in the car. So he never came in, which explains the reason why I saw his wife and the kids, but I didn't see him because he was the one that brought the family. She said that he came to my mom's burial site as well, but he stayed in the back. She said she talked to him at the funeral and the burial site, and she said she would never allow me, to continue living my life with hatred for him, with me not knowing the truth. And she was like, no, none of the other family members told you. And I'm like, girl, no one told me that he came. Like, I have not talked, like verbally talked to this man since I was in the 5th grade. I built hate for him since I was 15. I'm 29 now. So I'm like, no, no one ever told me, like, that he came. This is why I felt the way I felt for so long towards him. And she was just like, I'm not going to ever let you think he didn't love you. She said, I'm never going to allow you to think he didn't love you, because he did love you. She said he came over your house every day when you was a baby. Every day he came to your house with his other kids to help your mom take care of you. And me and her, we on the phone, and y'all, I've never seen this ever, but she shows me a picture that she has of my mom and my dad together. And she has it to this day. And she showed me a picture of him, and she sent me a picture. And it was just great to see. It was a great feeling to just release all the anger and the hate that I had towards this man. So on Mother's Day, my uncle, which is my daddy's brother, was my realtor when I bought my house. And yeah, I used to always call him my cousin, but he's not my cousin. He's actually my uncle. He was my realtor, and he made sure I was good. Like, he did not play about me. So he texted me on Mother's Day. I ended up texting him back, and I said, I saw the message late, and I didn't see the message late. It's just, I've been very skeptical with building a relationship with that side of the family. Look at my family, so I'm very skeptical about building any type of relationships with my family members. So I texted my uncle back, and I'm like, thank you. I'm just now seeing the message. I said, hey, do you have a relationship with my dad? And he was like, yeah, I talk to him all the time. You need me to do something for you? And I was like, yes. Can you, hit him up and see if he's open to having a conversation with me? I know it's a long shot, but, just see what he says. And he's like, yeah, I got you. It's like an hour later. Oh, no, I was like, tell him to text me, because if he calls me, it's not going to come through. He has to text me first. So he's like, okay, I got you. So about an hour later, I get a text, and it says, good afternoon, this is Dad. So I screenshotted the message with the number, and I'm like, hey, yo, is this him? Because you just have to be mindful of what the fuck my family, you know what I'm saying? So I screenshotted the text, and I'm like, hey, is this him? And he's like, yes. So I was like, hey, how are you? And I've been hearing from my other family members that my dad got sick all of a sudden. Now he's really, really sick. After being healthy, now he's sick. Put 2 and 2 together. Okay, so we're texting, and he wanted me to call him. He was like, you can call me. And I wasn't there yet. I still haven't called him. This just happened a couple of days ago. I still have not called him. I'm not there yet. I don't know why. It's just a lot for me to take in and handle. But it's the fact that, y'all, my dad sent pictures of me, of my son, of my movies, of him watching my movies, of my Facebook. He's been watching me. And it was so good. Like, it felt so good to feel like, Dad, you do care. You really do care about me. Because why would you keep up with me all these years if you didn't? So we're texting, and I'm like, do you ever think about my mom? And he was like, yeah, and I think about you as well. And when he sent me all the pictures and stuff, I said, okay, you've been keeping up with me. I said, have you ever thought about reaching out? And he was like, yes. And I said, what stopped you? And he was like, because, like, you know, you're famous now, which I don't feel like I am, but he was like, you're famous now, and I'm just an old country boy. Like, I didn't know, like, if you would respond. You know how people be, they change once they get in this light. That's pretty much, you know, what he was saying. And I said, did you ever feel like I would reach out to you? And he said, yes. I wholeheartedly feel like he couldn't reach out to me. I felt like he couldn't. I felt like me reaching out to him first broke that or gave him the confidence. That's truly how I felt. And we texted till like midnight. And I told him, I don't feel like it's ever too late for me to get to know you. So since then, we have been texting every day. I still haven't called him yet. I do plan on calling him, but it's definitely taking some time. But I am extremely happy to finally have like an adult conversation with this man, because all the hatred that I have had towards him, I just have to emotionally prepare myself on the conversations we're going to have once we get on the phone. But that's the root reason on why that particular aunt started doing work on my mom, because she wanted a baby with this man, never got pregnant. My mom was on birth control and got blessed with me, and here I am. So, yeah. Um, Thank y'all for listening to my story once again. Again, if you want me to tell your stories on what you've been through, you can DM me on here, or you can send it to my email. I prefer you to use speech to text because it's going to be the quickest way. But that's the real reason and the root reason on where the envy, the jealousy, and the hatred started with my mom. And now I'm comfortable letting the world know the real reason.